Hello friends, you're welcome to Vasil World Academy. This channel is all about giving you the best tips and guidelines that will harness the potentials in you as a student and channel you to success in all areas of your academic endeavors. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you PhD and Master's Scholarship at McGill University in Canada. As you know, Canada is one of the study destinations for most international students. Most importantly, this university has invested over 184 million Canadian dollars in the past couple of years to support their graduate students. The students who have been accepted, and most especially to thesis graduate programs, also receive their funding letter alongside their letter of admission. They offer different scholarships in the form of teaching assistantships and graduate assistantships. If this is what you're looking for, please stick around to the end of this video. It might interest you to know that McGill University is located at Montreal in Canada, which has very low cost of living, and this supports international students to manage their funds and be able to do well in their studies. It's a very beautiful city to behold, and I will encourage you to check through this university and also look at the essential requirements that I will be sharing with you in this video. I'm going to be walking you through step-by-step procedure on how to apply for this scholarship, the application deadline, the eligibility criteria, the required documents, English language requirement, as well as how to apply for this scholarship. If this is what you're interested in, please stick around to the end of this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. I want you to be the first to always know whenever I post new content. Without further ado, let me get into the laptop and show you how this is done. Alright guys, let me show you guys how to get into McGill University and check out the admission requirement as well as the funding packages that they have for their postgraduate studies. So we're going to do a simple Google search. We'll type McGill University. Okay, then this first link that shows up here, we'll click on that, and it's going to take us to the university's homepage, and from there we'll get to admissions and then get to graduate admissions. Then when we get to this page, we'll be able to see the admission requirements. So let's go through them quickly. So say all applicants, regardless of country of origin or educational background, must meet these minimum requirements. So you need a bachelor's degree. Unless otherwise stated, the master's program also will require you to have a completion of a 4 years bachelor's degree. So it is also very important to understand that the bachelor's degree is needed. And the second part of this is that if you're going for a PhD program, it requires you to have a master's degree in your related field. You can also get a direct PhD from a bachelor's degree, but you have, in this case, they call it direct entry. So we need to check out for the requirements to do that as well. So before we do that, you also need to have a minimum CGPA of 3.0 out of 4.0. So if you're using a 5.0 scale or percentage scale, please just check that out and do the conversion and know where you stand before you apply. You can also consult your programs and check out if they have specific requirements for the program that you want to apply to. So another thing we need to check out for is that your educational credentials will be assessed for equivalency. So you need to check for if there are country-specific requirements. Different countries have different way of grading their degrees. So you need to check if that corresponds or is in line with. So let's check this out. So when we get to this place, all you need to do is to type in your country. And you see I'm from Nigeria. So here for a master's program, I need 4 years bachelor's or something equivalent. Then for a PhD program, I need a master's as well. So we need to check out that as well. Then when you come down here, you will see the different grading systems. So do well to check this and be sure where you stand before you start your application. So we are done with that. The next thing we need to do is to check out for proficiency in English. English language requirement. We will have a link here. We can click on that. And when it opens, we'll see that they need standardized English tests, TOEFL, IELTS. These are the ones that are accepted. They also accept a Miguel certificate of proficiency in English. I think this one will be taken in their school. So if you do not want to take this, you need to check if there is English language waivers. So when you come down here, you will see proof of proficiency not required. So you do not have to provide any proof if you meet any of the requirements. So the first requirement is that if your mother tongue is in English, or you have obtained an undergraduate or graduate degree from a recognized institution in Canada or United States of America, if you have obtained an undergraduate degree or a degree program from a recognized foreign institution where English is the language of instruction. So I believe that this will suit many international students. So you can apply on the basis of these if you have studied in English and in your country, English is official language. Then you have the last part. If you have lived or attended university or you have been employed for the last 4 consecutive years in a country where English is acknowledged primary language. So you do not require English language proficiency if you meet any of these requirements. So I think this is a good news. So if you don't have the standardized test, you can skip that if you have those requirements. So the next thing I would like us to quickly see is how the requirement for a direct PhD from a BSc. So we can quickly open that and let's see. So if you want admission from a BSc to PhD, what they refer to as direct entry, there are different criteria you need to meet. Outstanding applicants with an undergraduate degree, you should have extensive research experience, and the research experience must be related to your chosen field of study. Then you also need a recommendation letter from a research supervisor that can attest to your robust research background. Then you also need a CGPA of 3.7 out of 4.0. Then also remember that this is on a case-by-case basis. So you need to package your application if you meet this criteria. You do not necessarily need to have a master's degree if you meet all these criteria. So I will encourage you to apply if this is your case. So we're going back to this. So the next thing we need to check out for is the programs. There are a lot of programs that these university offer. So we can check most of the programs here. So they have different faculty: agricultural and environmental sciences, dental medicine and oral sciences, medicine and health sciences, and all the types of faculties that you have. So check around and see what best suits your interest and check for program specific requirements if there are other specific requirements. So the next thing we need to check out for is the funding opportunity, which is to us the most important thing. So we need to click on funding. Okay, we have here. So when we get to fund your studies, which is very important to us, so we can see that Miguel is committed to providing competitive financial support to attract top students to their graduate program. So in this place, they also have low cost of living, which makes it easier for students to cope. So for the funding opportunity, we can see that they do have different sources of funding for graduate education. So, but it depends on the graduate program. So, but most importantly, I would like us to understand this. Students accepted to our thesis-based graduate degree programs, that is thesis, master's, and PhD, receive a funding letter with their offer of admission. So, yes, I've already said that. So, you are being admitted, you are also given a funding letter. So their master's and their PhD program, as far as it is a research program, you have funding that will back you up. So that being said, we've established the fact that this university offer funding for their research, master's, and PhD programs. So the next thing we need to check out for is how the graduate funding works. So we have so as you can see, the graduate students in the past have received over $184 million in funding between 2022 to 2023. So, and students accepted to thesis-based graduate degree programs receive a funding letter with the offer of admission. So you have a funding letter and you also have your letter of admission. So this is fully covered. So let's look at the funding packages. Students accepted to our thesis-based graduate programs, they also receive a funding letter. We have said that before. So, but funding levels vary by faculty and program. So all the fundings are going to be getting depends on the faculty and also depends on the program you're applying to. So you need to visit your programs and find out the funding that is attached to it, or you can write to the graduate coordinator to also find out the funding for that specific program. So as you can see, funding packages are offered to all PhDs, and 95 of all PhD students have their full tuition cost covered. So this is fully covered. Tuition fee is fully covered, and you also receive stipend in line with this. So most PhDs will also receive funding to offset other universities' fees, health insurance, and living costs. So you receive funding in addition to the tuition. You also receive funding for other university fees, health insurance, and living costs. Okay, so that is exactly what this package, funding package for this university covers. So there are other external sources of funding, such as the Venia Canada Graduate Scholarships and every other one here. So you can check that out. So they really encourage their students to also seek out for external funding to add to the internal funds that you have. But even without that, the internal funds will be enough for you to cover most of the things that you need to do. So having said that, let's look out for what this funding package is actually covered. Yes, we've established the fact that the master's and PhD research programs have their tuition fee covered, living stipends, and health insurance. Everything is covered by this funding package. But let's look at how much that it costs. So for us to do that, we can get to average PhD funding levels by faculty. So we can just click on that, and we can, when we get to this page, we can see PhD International and those ones for Canadian students or Quebec students. So what we need to do, have the different years for the program. So what you need to do, you can hover around this place. You can see the internal awards, and the total financial package for these internal awards is about 38,000 Canadian dollars total financial package, and this is usually offered in the first year. Then in this part, you have external award about 7,000 Canadian dollars. So the total financial support for this is 38,000 Canadian dollars. Then this one is other research awards for a PhD international student. So you can also hover around. You see 37, 38, 28. So they offer you stipends throughout the course of your program. So this is very interesting to know. So check that out and find out what best suits you. Write to the program coordinators and find out the program specific requirements and other things that you also need to know about that. So the next thing I would like to also mention is how to apply. We can get to the home page here. We can see this apply button, and this apply button, when we click on that, yes, I would also like to mention that they all have intakes in winter, summer, and fall. So you need to check for the different programs that you want to apply to and understand what happens with their different application deadlines. So you can visit the program using this link here to find out program specific deadlines. But generally, they have intakes in winter, summer, fall. So you can plan yourself and plan your application and find out when best you can apply, or when you have all your application portfolios so that you can tender your application. So if you're applying for the summer of 2004, so you need to choose that, and these are instructions on how you should do that. For you to apply, you need to access the graduate application portal here. So you need to create your account and fill in some details and add and attach all your supporting documents that are required. So that's all that. So let me quickly check some program specific deadlines. So I'll just click on the programs, and let's check agricultural and environmental sciences. Okay, let's see microbiology PhD. Okay, so here we can see the application deadline. So for this program, they only have fall and winter intakes. So application for fall opens September 15 and closes January 15th. Application for winter opens up in February 15th and ends in July 15th. So I believe we can all apply for these at this moment. We are already in February, so this application will soon be open and it will run through July 15th. So for this program, so this is how you can check. This is how you can check for program specific deadlines. Make sure you check the deadline and find out how and when you should apply. So that is all I have for you today. McGill University offers scholarship for masters and PhD students. You also have an opportunity of getting into a direct PhD from your BSc. So thank you so much. I would like you guys to understand that this channel is geared towards helping you succeed in your scholarship journey and most especially your academic journey as well. So I've prepared lots and lots of videos for you to check out scholarship update, how to prepare for scholarships. Please check around. I believe that when you get to this channel, you have lots and lots of exciting videos that's going to change your life, your academic life, and give you that life-changing opportunities that you have. So please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit that notification bell. You want to be the first to know when I release life-changing opportunities and updates like this. See you around, and I will see you in the next video.